The period we're entering, called the Golden Age or New Earth, coincides with the rise of the feminine, which isn't a coincidence because this period of human enlightenment is all about 5D consciousness and therefore predominantly feminine qualities. Until now, most of planet Earth has been led by masculine energies, manifested through this patriarchal system of control, which has produced this third dimension consciousness. And while this energy does have its place, it has failed in many areas because of the lack of balance. The predominance of masculine over feminine, more accurately, toxic masculine over feminine, has caused war, segregation, and inequality. So it's the rise of the feminine energy that will bring balance to the previous yang or masculine only approach. That's why this mass spiritual awakening we're undergoing is often triggered by the opening of the heart chakra and the transcending of the lower self into the higher self, awakening the feminine energy within all of us. When most, if not all, women are empowered, this period will be in full effect. This shift is requiring women to be focused on their self-love, their healthy, unconditional self-love. When women become whole, happy, and purpose-driven, when women start living their best lives and occupying positions of power, from this space and this mindset, the world will become a very different place. Women who have reached this state of inner equilibrium will never tolerate dysfunction. So we need to start focusing on empowerment. We need to start focusing on empowerment through healing. It's very important that we balance our inner masculine and feminine energies. When I say balance, I mean 50-50, 60-40% ratio, not an over masculinity, because this can also be a turn-off. But when our inner masculine and feminine energies are balanced, what this is going to do is it's going to provide the drive, the forward-moving, action-oriented motivation to carry out whichever goals we may have. And our goals and ourselves must come first. Independence is the key to real freedom and power. It's also why they don't want us obtaining this. It's also why men have held on to these things, and it's also why our inner masculine energies have been suppressed. As women, we need to be focusing on reprogramming our subconscious minds, not only from our own negative belief systems towards ourselves, but we also need to be reprogramming our subconscious minds from societal belief systems that have us believe that we're here on this planet for purposes of marriage, childbearing, household chores, beauty. And while these things can be a part of life and having children can be one goal, we need to be listening to our own inner guidance system, because if we don't really desire these things, they can be a trap. As women, we need to be focusing on transmuting and transcending any inner pain we may have from our past. So any inner trauma, childhood wounds, all of these things need to be resolved, released, alchemized. It's very important that we're also working on raising our vibration. So raising our vibration through exercise, meditation, healthy eating, and or yoga is very important, because it's the key not only to manifesting, but it's also the key to receiving the downloads, or let's say accessing higher consciousness, which is a massive source of creativity, inspiration, and information. So once this state of inner equilibrium and wholeness is achieved, you will realize that the wounds that created the emptiness, that manifested as a desire to fill the void with external things and people, will dissolve. Your external world will shift to match your new internal reality. You'll also realize that the person you or your inner child were crying out for all along was yourself. You'll realize happiness comes from within. In my case, it comes from consistently generating the feeling of bliss, love, and peace through meditation. the desire for social interaction will also decrease, because much of the desire for social interaction comes from the conscious or unconscious need for energy extraction, which you will be providing for yourself. And so you see, this is how we become energy drainers. It's what an emotional vampire is and does. So when you're happy, healed, and whole, you will become more selective with your social circle. You'll only want to relate to high vibration people because you'll realize the impact it has on your own health. Right, so another big aspect of reaching wholeness and self-realization is about living out your purpose. The satisfaction that arises from contribution and making a difference is massively rewarding. I strongly believe that making your life about adding value in some way or leaving a legacy in this physical dimension where you are temporarily having a human experience is what this life is all about. And I also strongly believe that we are all here at this time to bring about the golden age in one way or another. Humanity will be coming together for reasons of purpose in win-win scenarios, not self-serving scenarios as we've been doing until now in this third dimension consciousness. And this new way of operating will bring down the utopian heaven on earth. When we as women, and eventually humanity as a whole, are vibrating at this level of love for ourselves, for each other and the planet, then we will personally and collectively be on our highest timeline to attract real abundance and prosperity.